Late last year, we conducted the most thorough test of glow plastic we've ever done. 40 different discs, dozens of different companies, and we learned a few things. MVP Eclipse is the brightest and longest lasting glow plastic on the market. No surprise there. We also learned several companies, especially Innova, have dramatically improved their glow plastic. But something bothered me when we made that video, and still sort of bothers me today. Discraft's seasonal glow. Firstly, if you talk to any diehard glow throwers, they would tell you that glow is not a seasonal activity. And secondly, the seasonal glow was very inconsistent. 3 different discs yielded 3 totally different results. So imagine my surprise, delight, curiosity when I found out that Discraft had come out with something called Megaglow. And in the world of 6-sided discs, that means it's time to put this Megaglow buzz to the test against not just the best glow on the market, but against other buzzes as well. Because the plastic is in the details. Hey everyone, it's Greg from 6-Sided Discs, and before we dive into this Megaglow buzz, we're excited to announce our upcoming partnership with Smugglers Notch Resort. Smugglers Notch Resort in Jeffersonville, Vermont is home to 2 of the best disc golf courses in the world. The wooded and technical Brewster Ridge, and the iconic, picturesque Fox Run Meadows. We'll be visiting Smugs on Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd to the 26th, for their first disc golf stay and play weekend of the year. Their disc golf stay and play weekends include lodging, breakfast vouchers, a Vermont craft beer package, commemorative disc, 9-hole glow round, and of course, access to these 2 incredible courses. We'll also be shooting an 18-hole Q&A on one of the courses, similar to the one I did at Vista del Camino late last year. You can send your questions to 6sideddiscs@gmail.com or submit your question in the comments below. Make sure you include Smugs Q&A with your question. You can learn more about booking your stay at Smugglers Notch Resort at the link in the video description. And if you're visiting the same weekend as we are and you see us around the resort, stop by and say hello, show us that you're subscribed to our channel, and we'll give you a free Velcro patch for your bag. We hope to see you there. Now, let's talk about the Megaglow buzz, because if you're going to call a disc Megaglow, it better be glowing good. We'll find out just how good a little bit later. But first, we need to test the other half of that name, buzz. No matter how good the glow is, this buzz needs to fly like a buzz. And to figure that out, we're going to compare it to 6 other buzzes in a variety of plastics. Now, we've covered the Discraft buzz in a number of videos, and rather than giving you the full history of the buzz again, let's quickly summarize the main things you need to know about it. First, the buzz is arguably the best-selling disc of all time. Why? Well, with quite accurate flight numbers of 5, 4, -1, it's a stable disc, which means it'll work well on just about any angle or power level, making it a great neutral flyer for beginners, amateurs, and pros alike. It was also one of the straightest mid-ranges in our Flight Numbers Don't Matter straight mid-range comparison. And finally, because it's been so popular for so long, Discraft has made it in nearly every single plastic they've ever produced. So you're pretty well guaranteed to find a buzz that you like. Now that we're all up to speed on the buzz, let's meet our buzzes. We have a nice variety of plastics here today, beginning with their premium opaque blend, ESP. ESP is a solid premium plastic. With medium grip and medium stiffness, it's ideal for most conditions. It typically features swirly colors and sometimes glitter blended in, and can be one of the most visually striking plastics around. We'll also be throwing a Z buzz. Z plastic is translucent and typically a bit stiffer than ESP. To mix things up, we have 2 of their mid-grade plastics, Jawbreaker, which is a durable, grippy plastic that's very popular for putters or approach discs, and X Plastic, a bouncy, grippy, rubbery plastic that tends to be more understable than other blends. We also have 2 specialty blends to compare, last year's Tour Series Z-Flex Jawbreaker, which is a slightly more flexible version of Z, and the new and very popular Fused Buzz, also known as the Buzzsaw. And without further ado, let's see how a buzz should fly. Beginning with our ESP buzz, a buzz should, when released on a slight hyzer, flip up to flat, gently drift right, before gently fading back for a very straight flight. The buzz should also be able to get decent distance for a mid-range. This field we're throwing in is slightly uphill, and the corner post here is right around 330 feet, and nearly every buzz came in right around 300 feet. Their distance wasn't the only thing about them that was consistent, because so were their flights. Here's the Z Buzz on a slightly higher line, getting another pretty straight flight. The Z Flex Jawbreaker Buzz followed ESP and Z to show us a third straight flight. The X Buzz is pretty domey compared to these other buzzes, and this plastic tends to be more understable, and indeed it was, but not so much that it didn't get some moderate low-speed fade. While the Fused Buzz got just a bit more turn than the rest, which is consistent with what I've heard about this plastic being a little bit more understable than other buzzes. Much to my surprise, not only did the Jawbreaker Buzz meet the expectations of what a buzz should be, but it exceeded them, delivering by far the straightest flight of the bunch. So what about our Megaglow Buzz? Well, it's good news for buzz fans because the Megaglow Buzz flies just as straight as pretty much any other buzz. Which takes us back to the Megaglow. When we did our Ultimate Glow comparison last fall, we got very scientific. With a stopwatch for time and a lux meter to measure brightness, we determined that MVP's Eclipse plastic was both the brightest and longest lasting glow plastic on the market. We were also impressed with the next best stock glow plastic we had then, Innova's new Proto Glow Champion. However, while there were some high highs, there were also some low lows, and for me, that was Discraft's Seasonal Glow. I've said it before, I said it in that video, and I'll say it again. Glow is not a season. The people I know who throw glow throw it all the time. In fact, it's super popular in the summer months when you don't have to brave freezing cold temperatures at night. But it's also very popular in Sweden, Finland, and Norway, where they get incredibly long nights in the winter, and glow disc golf may be their only option to get out and play. In addition to the seasonal name issue, the glow quality was quite inconsistent. They had initial brightness ratings of 46, good enough for a top 5 place, but also 11 and 7 lux. And they lasted anywhere from 2 minutes and 42 seconds to just 1 minute, 5 seconds. But this is where I have to be honest and say that while the data we collected in that video allowed us to definitively crown a, quote, brightest glow plastic on the market, there is a lot that gets lost in those numbers. The first thing that gets lost is the fact that in a practical, real-life scenario of playing glow disc golf at night in near total darkness, those numbers are almost meaningless. Essentially, the only thing that matters, regardless of the actual number, is that the brightness and duration of that disc is bright enough and long enough that you can find it when it's your turn to go look for your disc. And since half of the discs we tested could still be detected by the lux meter 1 minute after charging, and more importantly could easily be seen in a dark room, we know they could be found on the course. All of this is to say, we don't need a light meter to clearly see that this Megaglow Buzz, Eclipse Envy, and Innova's Proto Glow Champion Mako 3 will all be very easy to find on the course. We can also see for ourselves, without a fancy lux meter, that the Discraft Megaglow glows very nearly as bright as both of these, and actually holds that brightness longer than Innova's Proto Glow. In fact, let's try that test one more time. And after a 5-second charge to each disc, even with the Proto Glow charging up last, you can see it running out just a tad faster than the other two. Now, does Megaglow glow as bright or long as Eclipse does? Not quite, but it easily joins Eclipse and Proto Glow as the top glow plastics in disc golf. And that's the end of the story, right? Wrong, because Discraft's Megaglow is missing something. When you order discs from Innova, you can now order stock discs like the Valkyrie or Mako 3 in Proto Glow Champion. And when you order discs from MVP, you can get dozens of different discs in stock Eclipse plastic, pretty much anytime you want across their family of brands. But if I pull up Discraft's order form right now, there is no stock glow plastic available. So if Discraft wants the rest of the disc golf world to take Megaglow seriously, they need to first take it seriously themselves. What do you think of Discraft's new Megaglow? And would you like to see more of their discs commonly available in glow plastic? Leave a comment down below. And also comment below what other plastic-related tests or comparisons you'd like to see in the future. Remember, the plastic is in the details. For Six-Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in the next one. Blah, blah, blah. Their distance wasn't the only thing consistent between them, because they also had pretty consistent.
So we'll throw these and then we'll get distances and that's a wrap.
Oh, that came out real bad, but it's a good flight.
It's literally perfect.
I know, I just...
Look at it. It's dead straight like 280.
And that's the end of the story, right? Wrong. Ooh, I just looked directly at a light. Why did I do that?
Yeah, 2 of those other ones are probably going to be pretty quick. Look at that thing. That is glowing brighter than the glow one.
Woo! That's more stable than we think.
Yeah.
For the bloops! And it's in orbit.
So nose up.
It's in orbit.
I got one more.
If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or becoming a member. Your support makes this content possible.